Unit 4, Day 4, Homework Tutorial. I will work through the odd problems with you to help. We're going to state if the two triangles are congruent or not, and if they are, state our reason. So for problem 1, it wants to know if triangle love, LOV, is congruent to the other triangle. So when I look at this triangle, I do know that they share a side, side LV. So they have two sides congruent and one angle congruent. However, because the angle is not included between the two sides, we don't have proof that the triangles are congruent. So these are not congruent. And if you look above, our options are side, 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 angle, or angle, angle, side. Not side, side, angle. That's not an option. Or angle, side, side, however you want to look at it. Those are two of the non-possibilities. All right, on number 3, we're trying to prove that triangle EUD is congruent to the other triangle. Again, they share an included side, so that would be congruent, UD, and you have the other two sides are congruent as well, so all three sides are congruent. So yes, these two triangles are congruent, but we got to make sure we name it in the correct order. So angle E correspond or EU corresponds with RU. So you follow that? Because both of those sides have the 3 tick marks on it. And then that means D would be the last corresponding part. And what was our reason for these triangles being congruent? That they have 3 congruent sides, so side, side, side. Okay, now let's do number 5. We're trying to prove that triangle big is congruent, to the other triangle. So far, it shows that one side and one angle are congruent. But I don't know how the other two sides or any of the other angles are related. So we don't have enough information. So we have to say not congruent. We need 3 parts or it has to be a right triangle in order to prove that they're congruent, but we only have 2. Number 7. There's a typo here on number 7. It should read triangle STU. And on triangle STU, we have side SU, TU, and a given angle. So that looks like something we've talked about, 2 sides and an included angle. However, on the other triangle, we have 2 sides and an angle, but the angle is not included. It's not between the 2 sides. So again, we don't have enough information. So these are not congruent. Again, they both have to have the same sides or the corresponding sides congruent and the given and the included angle. So if angle R had been the angle marked, then you would have said side angle side. But since it wasn't, we can't make it. So we have to do nothing with it. All right, number 9. We have triangle SHA with two sides clearly marked. And this appears to be a bow tie situation. So you know that these angle A here and angle A here are going to be both congruent. So you have two sides and an included angle. So it's going to be a side angle side most likely. So now we just need to name the triangle in the appropriate order. So S comes first. S corresponds with W. H comes second, and H corresponds with N, and then that leaves A. Again, order does matter. I cannot stress that enough. You can't just say WAN, NWA. You can't make up whatever you want. It has to be logical and it has to make sense. Okay, let's go do number 11. On this backside, they want us to state what additional information is needed to prove the triangle is congruent based off of the given reason. On 11, they want us to prove it based off of angle, side angle. So far on number 11, they provide us with one angle marked. However, these two triangles share a side, so we know that this side is also congruent. So if it's going to be angle, side, angle, the congruent side has to be between the two congruent angles. So that means this angle would need to be congruent with this angle. So we would need to know that angle U is congruent to angle U. If we're going to prove it by angle, side angle. On number 13, they want us to prove it by side angle side, and as of right now, it has one side marked and the right angle marked. And in order to prove it by side angle side, the angle has to be between the two sides. So that means CA would need to be congruent with LJ. So CA has to be congruent with LJ. Number 15, they want us to use side angle side as well. Again, the angle has to be between the two given sides. So that means on this triangle here, we would need JI, and on this triangle here, we would need TS. I didn't mean to put two tallies, but you get the picture. I put too many lines on that. And lastly, number 17. They want us to prove it congruent by side, side, side. So only one side is clearly marked right now, but you do know they share a side, so that's also congruent. In order to use side, 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 all sides need to be congruent. So RS would need to be congruent with QD or in the proper order. So if I say RS, then I should probably be saying DQ. That's what I love about Texas. All right. Well, that concludes your tutorial for this homework assignment. I hope that helps you when working on the other problems.